Hey everybody, it's Bounty here and we're back with some epic Vault gameplay. I'm also using the Thunderbolt as my secondary weapon for the Titans. So I'm just showing you the attachments at the moment. We've got the extra capacity ammo, we've got a scope, and for the Thunderbolt we've also got the extra capacity ammo and fast reload. We're running the cloak with arc grenade, and for the boost we've got smart pistol. So Smart Pistol I've unlocked early because I'm only level 38. I actually bought it probably back at about level 27, and the reason I thought I'd buy it is half because it's still quite OP, and also half because it helps you get the Titan locked in. And since I'm better at Titans than Pilot, it's pretty sweet to get into that Titan as soon as possible. So we're just going to run into the gameplay at the moment. And as you can see, I'm using the Vault. The reason why I like this gun is because the accuracy is about, I can't remember, it's like 90-95%. So look at that, you don't even need the scope, you can just use it with the crosshair that displays on your screen. The scope, I mean, it's good for long distance, but I find you don't really need it at all, which, as you can see there, it sort of makes it quite OP, because you can quickly aim and shoot at your opponents without needing to aim down the sight. Look at that, you can pretty much sniper with this gun, and that was on level 1, so this is without any attachments. The loadout that I showed you is how I'm running the Vault at the moment, with the ammo. Boom. So yeah, it's just a ridiculous gun, man. It's very, very powerful. So in this gameplay we finish up with quite a high score, carry the team as per normal, and you'll get to see some hopefully epic smart pistol play. So with the smart pistol you can keep spamming like I did just then, even if it isn't fully locked on, even if it isn't red. Basically the red just means that you're going to get a guaranteed kill as long as the opponent doesn't run around a corner or sort of escape the travel of the bullets from your smart pistol. Because I have had quite a few times where it will be red, which indicates, hey man, you're going to kill this guy, but then he runs around the corner and escapes on very, very low health. And obviously that's not ideal when you're trying to get lots of kills. So I'm just going to crush these pilots. They're all trying to rodeo me and things like that. But yeah, so I'd highly recommend, if you guys are sitting on quite a lot of currency, to invest in something like the Smart Pistol. That's really going to help you carry a lot of games, get a lot more XP and level up faster. It's really going to help with the extra credit you get for being the top performer, so in the top 3. And I find, since having, say, the Vault and the Smart Pistol might seem a bit cheesy, but every game I'm literally in the top 3 and there's no issues there. Especially with the Titan, Tone's pretty OP. There was an update earlier today where they have nerfed him. However, personally I haven't even noticed it because I'm still performing well with Tone. But I do notice that it does seem more even with other Titans. So I'm seeing a lot more other Titans on the field and they're wasting me as well, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to take on some other Titans at the moment, running quite low on health. And as you can see from the score up the top, it's pretty unfair already. From what I'm aware, the enemy team does have a full team, so it's not a lopsided match. And that's something that's a little bit disappointing, to be honest, with Titanfall, is that when someone leaves, they just leave in a vacant spot. I have been a backfill of a couple of games, although not very often, but I've also had quite a few games where someone leaves, and then we're all just sitting there, 4v6 or 5v6, and it's not very fun. That was a pretty sick scope right there, eh? So that's something else that Tone really performs well at, and that's when people eject from their Doom Titans, you can, I won't say quite easily, because it's actually not easy, but you're able to scope them out of the air not too badly. And there's nothing worse than, you know, being a pilot ejected in the air and then someone just takes you out with a 40mm. So we're going to get it out of that Titan. It's not doing very well. And see if we can get a couple more cheeky kills with the smart pistol. So if you've used the smart pistol in Titanfall 1, it's pretty much exactly the same. If you haven't used it before, then basically you just run around. I recommend sort of aiming or checking every corner, so you can get an indication of what's nearby. And then basically you just left click and it does all the aiming for you. I mean, it's a bit cheesy. It's not a weapon that you're going to use if you're worried about skill and, you know, doing really awesome shots and things like that. There is the Wingman, which is a really good pistol. It's sort of like the Magnum that you'd get on Modern Warfare 2, or it's like that really strong pistol that's hard to aim with. And I have used the Magnum a couple of times, and you do get a lot of one-hit kills. Although, if you start spamming the rounds, the accuracy just goes out the window. So here we're using the Thunderbolt, and the Thunderbolt's really good for Titans. At first I didn't really like it because I thought you had to aim at the Titan in order for it to hit the Titan. But what the ball of electricity does is, even if it misses the Titan, it still affects it, and you still get your 10 or 12% for doing damage to a Titan. So the Thunderbolt's a really good way if you struggle, you know, once you're out of your Titan, if you struggle to get a second Titan. I'd recommend using the Thunderbolt, definitely over the other options, because as you can see, I've got my Titan back already, and the Thunderbolt just honestly adds on 10 to 12% every time. And not only that, for maps where they have Reapers inbound and things like that, the Thunderbolt will cause damage to more than one target, whereas the laser cannon one, that's only single target. I was using that originally, and I had the extension on that made you shoot straight away, but it's honestly not as good. And my Volt cannon at the moment, I think, is about level 14, so, you know, that really shows a strong sort of sense of favoritism towards that. We're in a quite dangerous situation at the moment with multiple Titans, so we'll just get out of here. You can lock the rockets for tone that you press Q with. You can lock them onto multiple units. Although I usually sort of rush and just panic my way through it. Sweet, get him out of the way. So sometimes, see that pilot that I just killed? He was sort of frozen still. The servers have been a bit sort of laggy lately, and so you'll look at other pilots, and even though on their computer, hey, they're probably moving, on yours they're just rock solid, and they're not moving at all. So I've had a few sort of frustrating deaths and a few easy kills because of that. Sometimes I'll be around the corner on my screen, but then I just die for no reason. And that's probably because on the other pilot's screen I'm frozen still. And they're probably, you know, thinking I've got a bad connection or something, when it's actually the server. See if we can get this guy. Nah, had to reload. There we go, punch him into the ground. So we're going to carry on with the Volt. So for the Volt, I think I got it to about level 8 or level 9. And then I started using some shotguns, so I'll show you guys some gameplay. I'm probably going to go through all the guns, because I've got a fair idea of, you know, how they all work and what sort of circumstances to use them in. So I better cover that for the Volt. The Volt is user-friendly for any map, to be completely honest. Even the very long maps where there's lots of snipers, due to the high accuracy, you can just take them out, no sweat at all. And I think that's what makes it a very unique gun, is just the accuracy is through the roof. So there's really, I mean, close map far away, it really doesn't matter. and I've shown examples in this gameplay where I smashed someone through the window there, and I've also killed a bunch of guys on the staircase. So it really is just, you know, a map-friendly gun. So we're just finishing up here at the moment, going to see if we can get a cheeky pick. It's pretty hard to kill people when they're heading towards, you know, the ship. And it was quite frustrating here because I still had the smart pistol, so I couldn't actually swap to my my anti-Titan Thunderbolt rifle. So, sorry, bolt rifle. What am I saying? My Thunderbolt. And you know, because of that, the smart pistol. That's the downside, really. So you can see my final score is 196. So it's quite a solid gameplay. I'm not sure why I just died at the end to that invisible guy, because I definitely saw him first. But yeah, anyway, so we're just going to finish up here and get our rewards and get our merits. At the moment I'm level 38, so definitely made some progress. And thanks very much for tuning in. I'll catch you guys in the next episode where we check out some more guns in Titanfall 2. Peace.